From Tech for Techs. Today we're looking at this Marvo Scorpion M513, which is a 4800 DPI gaming mouse. It has a retail or a recommended retail price of £28.99. So let's have a quick look at some of the features, what it says it's got. It's got a high profile design, which means it's more of a ridged effect, well not ridged, but it's higher up so it's easy for you to rest your hand on. Excellent control for all grip styles, easily switch between multiple lighting schemes with a button press, advanced customizable software including DPI support up to 6400. One thing I would suggest with the software, and we've seen this with a lot of Marvo products and get people always sending us messages on YouTube and an email regarding Marvo products, is the software, if you're having problems installing it, when you unzip the contents of the folder you download from their website, copy the contents of the folder, not the folders as well, but just the contents of the folders into another folder on your desktop and call it something like Marvo, and then it should install. The issue is the file name length is too long when you unzipped it because of all possibly the special characters and where it's been translated in probably Chinese or whatever over to English. It doesn't actually let you run it because it doesn't understand the length for the file names or the contents of the folder names. So basically copy the contents into another folder and it should install. On top of that, you've got your optical sensor, which goes from 800 up to 4800 DPI. It's got a 3 million click rating, so you can click on those buttons 3 million times before they should break. And it's got a USB 2 cable, which is roughly 1.6 meters long. So let's have a look at the box. As it says on there, it's programmable, 7 buttons, 6-step DPI. You can't really see much apart from the lighting, but it looks like the logo's going to light up, and this looks like a strip that goes around the mouse, which is going to light up as well. But we'll have a look at that in a few minutes. On the back, here we go, it tells you about the backlighting as well. On there, you've got 6-step DPI, backlight switches on the top, and then you've got your 4800 DPI gaming grade optical sensor. Okay, inside the box you've got the mouse itself, and then you've actually got the instruction manual there, which does tell you how to install the software. But bear in mind what I said about that folder, copy the contents into another folder if you're having problems, and it should install. But there's the mouse itself. You can see the wheel on the top, so you've got that there. It is rubberized and it's got that RGB effect on it. You have your DPI switch as well. And then you've got your LED lighting button as well. If you press that, it changes between different styles. I wouldn't say they're the brightest, to be honest. Even in a dark room, it probably show off okay. But the lighting effects, not the brightest. I think that's probably one of the duller ones I've seen out there. It does light up the sides, goes around the back, and then the sides, and then the top. It does seem that the sides there and there are brighter than the rest of it. It's probably just where the LEDs are positioned inside. But you do have a few different effects on there you can choose from. But it's, unless it allows you in the software, it's pre-set up, sort of more like rainbow effects is probably the best way of putting it. On the left hand side you do have a back and forward button, and it's sort of textured on the side so it helps you grip. And on the right hand side it's got that texture as well with no buttons. Again, the left button, right button, obviously your wheel works as a button. You've got your 2 buttons on the top for your DPI and RGB, and then the 2 on the side. The bottom's got 4 skid pads on the bottom to allow it to slide, which seems to be fine. And then it just tells you about the model numbers and so forth. Okay, the weight of this thing works out at 114 grams, so it's probably slightly heavier than average mouse, but again, I like it. Again, it's going to be good for probably someone with a big hand, and likes that palm support is probably the best way to do it. But yeah, so there's plenty of room there. Even someone with a small hand should be fine as well. Okay, so here's the software if you wish to use it. On the software you can basically bind whatever key, or should I say button, on the mouse to do whatever you want. You can see down the left here it says 1 to 7, and it tells you what the that basically button does, and then you can see where those buttons are on the mouse so you don't get mixed up which one's which. So if you wanted button number 5, which is usually the back button, you can click where it says back next to number 5 and change it to do different things. So it can be a left key, right key, back, forward, special keys like a fire key or an aim key. You've got media, web searching, options, function keys, user defined, and then a base macro, which at the moment it's not showing any because you should be able to make your own macros in this. Also at the top you've got advanced. On there you can basically set your fire key settings, and your movement speed, double click speed, rolling speed, and your DPI settings. So when you're using the DPI switch on the top, it will do different DPI speeds. You can set it basically whichever speed you want it to do. So you just click on the bar. So if you want green to be 4800, it can be, and purple to be something else, it can be, and so on. But obviously that's up to you what you set it as. On top of that, at the top right, you've got the option for light. So you've got different options on here. So brightness is full or half, so there's no in-between option. Then you've got LED lighting settings, you've got DPI mode, you've got colourful light, rainbow, flow light, waltz, 4 seasons, and off. And then you've got light speed, so you can adjust how fast the colours change on there. There's no way to set it as specific colours or anything like that, so you can't have the whole thing red, blue, or whatever in the options here. But it will go through, obviously, the options of where it changes colours and so forth. But obviously, you can set the colour, so where it says DPI mode, to the DPI you're actually having it. So if you want it red permanently, make sure on the previous screen, on the advanced, you set the red option on here, which is DPI 4, to the exact DPI you want it, and then change your press your DPI button on the top, and it will adjust it to, well, the red, and then it's running at that DPI, and it'll stay red until you press your DPI button and change to a different colour again. So it gives you a rough idea. And then at the top right, you've also got macro. This is where you can create new macros. So when you're gaming or something along that lines, and you want it to press in one of the key buttons on the mouse to do something specific, it's easy to do. So you just basically create new macro, name it, we'll just call it new, press OK, and then you basically press record, and then tap the keys on your keyboard. So I'm just going to type QWERTY. So once you've done that, you press stop. So whenever you press a key, what you'll bind it to, which you go back to the you have to make sure you press apply first. Wait for it a few seconds. And that saves the settings to the mouse. Then you go back to your key mode, and then change, let's say, the back button now to that macro, so where it says base macro, press new. So if I go and press the key number 5 or button number 5 on the mouse, it will then run that macro you've just created, but you will have to make sure you press the apply button first.